Welcome to the bigger play where the rubber meets the road. And when I tell you we get straight to it, I mean we getting straight to it. You hear me? We here. We got some things we want to talk about, man. So I just did a reaction to something, and we trying to tap into that. We just want to have a conversation. Now, the topic today is be a slave to your woman. What I want to know is what everybody out there in Wonderland think about that. So I got to get used to getting up here, pre-recording and going live, having a conversation with the people. So I'm gonna be dropping every single day, getting it in, having real conversations till I get to a point where you can call in, we can chop it up, and we can have this conversation. So I want to welcome everybody to the bigger play where the rubber meets the road, and we get straight to it, meaning we keep it real. And there's always something bigger than what's on the surface, and what you think on the surface is bigger than that. So here we is. Being a slave to your woman, right? So I'm gonna be coming with not today, but even a little bit today, but I'm gonna be coming with references, facts, data, statistics, so we can have real conversation. So let's talk about it. Being the slave to your woman. Nah. First of all, we're gonna get away from the word slave. Now, you can either be real or you can be a simp. If you be a real man to your woman, have you some respect, have you some integrity, have you some knowledge, have you some commitment, have you some dedication. A slave, I don't get it. I feel like that's more of the simp role. Now, being what I just said to your woman, dedicated, commitment, respect, provision, honesty, loyalty, she had to bring things to the table also for you can be able to commit to her in that way. Now you got something. All right? My thing is we in 2024 or the 21st century. And now women have, to be honest, just as much, if not more, opportunities and access to finances than we do. I don't know what changed. Well, I know what changed. The internet changed. The wave changed. And the people being liberated changed. So now you got people saying things like be a slave to your woman. It's all about her. If she making it all about you, I think y'all good. Well, my woman ain't got to pay. I'm going to pay 100% of. See, all this rhetoric sound good, but that's what it is, rhetoric, right? Let me ask you something. If you giving your woman 100% and you doing everything, what's the benefit of her being in your life? And we're gonna do something called put the kids to the side because so many homes out here is did this. You know what that mean? What do that mean? That mean I'm over here with children, she over there with children. Those are not my children. These are not her children, and we merge. We trying to do what you call a blended family. And 90% of the time, the woman coming in with the kids, the man may not even be dealing with his kids, or you have a more structured situation. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Okay? Now she finna give you some responsibilities that she might not necessarily have. So let's keep the kids out of it for right now. Let's just focus on me and you. I'm your slave. I'm paying 100% of your bills. I'm paying 100% of the bills. I got everything covered. What I'm getting? Make it make sense. You can comment what I'm getting because I don't understand what I'm getting outside of what I'm providing. Now, if your lady ain't as fortunate as you financially, okay, you can do a little more at that specific time and that particular time. But say you busting it, you busting yours, and you working hard. She solidified herself. She's doing a more easier task, uh, more money. So if you a slave and you doing everything and she not doing anything, what's she doing with all her access to what she having access to? You're not involved in that. I don't get the mentality behind it. You got a lot of people speaking different things. You got a lot of people feeling certain type of ways. This is how it should go. Me and you get together. There's a certain type of energy that exists between us. And from that point, guess what? We locked in. So we not having no conversation about no slave, no submission. We having a conversation about, man, I respect dude. I respect her. Man, I respect her. I respect dude. That's going to take you wherever you want to be at. And from there, you can sit down. You can have conversations. You know y'all on the same path because that energy exists. She could talk to you about certain things that she want to do in life, certain accomplishments, certain things that she want to do for you, certain supports she want to be there for you and things of that nature, and vice versa. She got a lot of simping going on out here, and it's something that we're going to have to put in check. I ain't going to be real harsh today, but I'm going to be real. And sometimes people get harsh and real mixed up. They get reality and keeping it real mixed up. Then they start to get upset. Then they start to get their feelings. And they start to get their emotions. And then they want to say that you this, you that, you this, you that, when that's not the case. As a man that represent a masculine level of being a man on a high level, it's difficult for people to deal with that. Nowadays, as men talking to these microphones, we get a lot of backlash because the world not used to seeing us in that light. But if you keeping it real and you ain't keeping it fake, then ain't nothing wrong with you being in that light. Giving guidance to those who need it. Giving advice to those who need it. Giving subjectiveness to those who need it. Giving direction. You hear me? And giving criticism. As well as I give it, I can take it the same. But not you being disrespectful, calling me out my name, all these words, misogyny, narcissistic, just because a man is speaking. And a lot of the times, you can have this information, and this information could be key. And it could be accurate, righteous information. But because it's coming from you, person might not be able to accept it. And as a result, here go the name calling. I'm just having a real conversation. I'm just putting out real information. What is it when you want to be a slave to your woman? So if you so choose to do so, I don't feel nothing wrong with that. However, we do live in a world where you have a feminine energy from males, okay? You have a feminine energy from males. And then you have a masculine energy from men. So if you're going to represent the feminine energy from males, hey, my friend, nothing's wrong with that. But over here, we ain't going to always be soft-spoken. For the most part, we're going to talk loud and aggressive. But we're going to do it in a masculine, manly, respectful way. Unless we have to shift that. And if we have to shift it, well, God, so be it. Because we represent the masculine man over the feminine male. Yeah, we're going to trademark that right now. That just came to fruition right now at my mind. Okay, let me say it again. We're going to represent the masculine men over the feminine male. This is just what we're going to do. All right? Because it's a bigger play and we're bringing a bigger play to you. Right? So in our relationship, in the masculine male relationship, we lay down laws. We lay down law. We lay down provision. Okay? We lay down direction, we lay down instruction, and we accepting of humility. We're accepting of femininity. Come on, bring it. We're acceptable of respect, balance, cool, calm, collected. Because there's so much rah-rah. And keeping it real has gone awry. It's just too much rah-rah. What a man supposed to be doing? How? See, this is a conversation that at one point it was in check. Now it's not so much in check, it's all over the place. Because so many people feel like they know what they're talking about. However, the results is just non-existent. And this is a fact. So the goal is to get results if that's what you so choose to do. Let's just put it in perspective, you being a slave. Let's just put that in perspective. I'm a slave to my woman. I do everything I say that the masculine male should do, and I'm also doing what the feminine male should do. Now, say you do this 7 years straight, 3 years straight, dedicated, provide. You find out, because this go on a lot, and we ain't talking about that, but you find out, hey, she don't really like you like that because sexually, you 50%, 30%, 40%, or maybe she might not like it at all. But because, oh yeah, let's go there. But because you are being that feminine male, she's saying, man, I don't want to get it up. Even though he's not doing this, but in the back of her mind, she need that itch to be scratched. And we ain't even gonna go into she getting that itch scratched. We ain't gonna go into that right now. But she needed to be scratched. She wanted to be scratched, but you doing all this, and she comfortable with it. So she torn. How long do you got to be torn? I'm asking. When he's doing all that. See? If you give her that masculine man, you're going to pick up on all that. And she going to be so tuned in to you that it just scratch because that integrity there. But when you a slave, y'all know what slave masters do to slaves. It's something I watched. Be a slave to your woman. Men should be slave to their women. I bought my wife a house in South Africa. All men should be slaves to it's the rhetoric. And some of us going to come through and combat the rhetoric. And we're going to catch heat from it because nowadays they want the men, the masculine men, the masculinity of a man to bow down. Now you got a few ladies that's cutting through saying, whoa, Bigger Play, don't talk like that, Bigger Play. We need our masculine men. But in a widespread scheme of things, because they putting so many of these microphones in front of people, a lot of people was doing the latter, saying, no, bow down. If you talk on that microphone, you're assassin. I ain't never seen this many men talk in my life. It's a problem. But in life, you always got to have this. It's called balance. It's called balance. And sometimes the balance can be off. But you got to have certain people step up to the plate to jump back in and try to recalibrate that so we can get our balance back. And this way you got to take it. All right? So we're going to come with different topics every day. We're going to come with different energy. We're going to come with a great spirit just to shine a light on the things that we out here talking about on the regular. Okay? Now, let's get away from the feminine male and go over here to the masculine men. The masculine man going to be on his purpose. He going to be focused. He going to be determined. He going to be dedicated. He going to be committed to his purpose. And with that, okay, no slavery. With that, he gonna release a certain energy. And that energy gonna turn around and come right back to him the right way. So if there's any discretion, he can feel it through that individual that he dealing with. He gonna be able to feel it. And guess what he gonna be able to do? He gonna be able to dress it because he carrying it. He carrying it like the masculine man supposed to carry it. Period. That's a fact. And now he's able to sit down and have this conversation. And his significant other or whoever he's dealing with, they know their role and they're going to respect that role and they're going to be in that role. They're going to be intimate in that role. They're going to be focused in that role. And they're going to understand their role. But because of how that sound, everybody, oh, you got, no, it's the truth. See, I've been paying attention to a lot of different things and a lot of different ways that we going. And once that person feel like they know it all, guess what? They run into all type of. But when you got that person over there working on their purpose, that masculine energy, we ain't talking about that feminine energy, we talking about that masculine energy. He gonna be able to critical think. Gonna be able to deal with them situations in front of him. He ain't gonna go over here and cry and give up and bow down. He's gonna stay focused. Gonna connect with that spirit. And he gonna get it right. Regardless of the judgments and the criticism that people do. That always go on. But when he stand in his purpose, we all see what's going on. You can feel it. You can see it. You can feel it. Just as good as you see it, that's good as you can feel it. And this is important because you got so many of us, so many people getting away from who they are naturally. They getting away from who they are in nature. I'm not talking about how you was raised. I'm not talking about what you did. I ain't talking about how much. I ain't talking about all that. I'm talking about in nature. Why am I a feminine male? And why you on your masculinity at all times as a female? And it's sad we can't even have these conversations. So to help people tap back into their nature without being criticized in such a negative way. It's a sad thing, but it's real. We just keeping it real. Okay? This is something that you got to understand. Maybe you're not understanding it right now. But eventually you will. Because one thing I learned, regardless, it can look like you shifting it. It can look like you changing it. It can look like that. It could appear to be that. Nature is nature. Universal principles are universal principles. No matter how you try to shift it and make it, facts is facts. And you can do all that to try. They play with it. They play with it. But it don't get them nowhere. For thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. Still have to accept it, regardless of who you are. Man or woman. Male or female. Yeah. I'm speaking this information and we're going to talk about different things on a regular basis. I'm coming up here every day. New topic every day. And if you got something you want to speak on, call on up in here. New topic every day. To the tube every day. New energy. Good energy. Harsh truths. Accepting of criticism. Promotion of positivity. Elevation in life. Health and wealth. Courage. Modification. Instruction. Spirituality. Bomb first, God first. Family. This is where we at. Stay tuned. It's like episode 20, 21 coming up, and we're going to delve right on in. So is you going to be a slave to your woman? Or is you going to be a simp? Masculine man, feminine male. You going to create your life legacy? Or you going to contribute to somebody else's life legacy? You going to bust your it to make your life legacy? Or you going to bust it to make somebody else's life legacy? They ain't going to remember you. All the work you put in, they're not going to remember you. Is you going to fall under that category? Or is you going to jump into your purpose? Figure out who you are, your role, your level of power, what you supposed to represent, your contribution to the masses, to the earth, to the world, to society, to your family, to yourself, to your legacy. Huh? Or is you going to be a slave to the game? The games that they so playing. The narrative that they pushing on us for us to accept, that they want us to accept. See, this so deep, I can't even get to the next one because I'm still stuck on this one. Is you going to fall into the narrative and follow that? Because that's what a lot of people do. They scared. So they change. They go from the Statue of Liberty to the all-seeing eye. They'll see the hands justice. I know you might not know what that is, the all-seeing eye. You hear me? They'll go from the Statue of Liberty, strong, standing tall, universal principle, gave you that torpedo. And now you want to take the torp off and be a pedo. You're going to be a pedo. Talking is an amazing thing. Because what you can do, your constitution, you hear me? And your body, you got something called a constitution. See, what you can do is go in there and try to compromise your constitution. But the constitution gonna always be what it is. See? So if you got that torpedo and you try to make it to a pedo, it's still up here. It's gonna be disconnected. So your constitution gonna be constituted and you're gonna be in a level of confusion. I know this probably go over a lot of people's head, but it is what it is. Okay? There's nothing wrong with representing who you are and what you're trying to represent. So ain't nothing wrong with me representing who I am and what I'm trying to represent. And if we adults, we can have this conversation. Because I don't want to change you. That ain't what I'm trying to do. But I will. What I will do is live in my truth and try to let you know I see you. I feel you. And I want you to be great. I do want that. Because if you great, guess what? It can be greatness around each other. We can be greatness. It can be greatness out here. So if somebody can give you some of inspiration, give you some knowledge, and you come with this perspective and say, oh, okay, all right. If we can get it together, we can work together. So don't do that criticizing if you ain't understand what I'm saying, Peter. Don't do that criticizing if you don't understand what I'm saying, Peter. I just told you what we're going to represent. The righteous way. I know it's a new day. It's new times. Times change. Some people say it just repeated itself. Time will tell. And that's what I'm doing. Adding value to my life. to my legacy, to the universe, to those around me. And if I'm not perfect, which I'm not, I'm sure working to be the better version of myself tomorrow than I am today. And I'm working on being a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. Whatever version that may be. All right. Bigger play.